We have internationally known, been at it for a while, well over 3 million albums sold over time, very successful. You travel the globe, formally introducing partner mine, Cupid. Welcome to the first edition of the LevelUp show. Appreciate you.
Man, appreciate you having me, man. And kudos, man, to what you got going on. I know it's been a minute, and I know you've been like hit me up. We haven't been able to kind of get the time coordinated, but it works today. And man, it's an honor, man, because as much as I tell people, you and Tyron, man, y'all the original OGs, man. Y'all got us started.
Yeah, kind of started, but y'all took it to the next level, man. I kind of gave up, man. I had been at it for a long time, Bryson, and we really got pretty close with the group that I was in back in the day, and we kind of self-destructed. And after we self-destructed is really, you get here, some of us get here, and then we kind of, I don't know whether it's lose the motivation or the opportunities aren't where they were. So we just got to a point to where we just shut it down. I shut it down personally, in with a different direction. But you really, just a handful of us from this era, man, this area, you really took it, stuck with it, made the most of it, and really, 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 you did it. And you're still doing it. So much respect to you.
Thanks, man.
Yep. Okay, so let's talk about now what's going on today. So we can go back, but give us some updates on what you're working on today. I know you're starting to get out again. Give us some updates on what's happening.
Well, it's been good, man. I actually just got back from Dallas, Texas. We had a big concert there. And, like people are starting to, ready to live and ready to start having a good time, man. So it was a huge crowd. People had their masks and stuff and all of that. But it was just great, man, to see people just party, man. So my calendar's starting to fill up a lot more.
Good.
And I just announced that I'm starting a music distribution company.
Saw that. Congratulations.
Good, thank you, man. TLC Music, and basically what I'm gonna be doing is taking the load off of the artist. When I'm coming up as an artist, managing myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was so many things I wish that I could do, or I had people doing for me, to where I could be an artist.
So let's talk about some of those things. What were some of those obstacles that you wish you had then that you're going to be providing now?
Well, the biggest thing for me is managing the music, monetizing the music, making sure that I'm getting paid quarterly for the music, and getting my songs to all of the proper outlets. Having a budget to spend to work the online DJ servicing services, all of those types of things. I didn't have any anybody who had access to it, and two knew how to do it, man. So for me, I just want to help those artists that don't have the managers and all of the companies behind them that have great music, and help them get their music out to the masses without having us, do all of that extra work.
Yep, to where they can't focus on the music. And I think I'm glad we're talking about this, because one of the biggest things people appear not to understand, especially with music, it's either one or the other. The perfect combination is if people get both. The people to understand that music is also like a very complex business. So talent is one part of it. And, and I'll be honest with you, that was probably where we faltered at back in the day when I was involved in music. We had the talent, but from a business perspective, I just be honest, we sucked. We didn't have a good handle on the business. We didn't have the right guidance. We didn't have the right mentors to really get us where we needed to go. And like I said, I think also some of it was self-destruction, but that seems like the business end of it is where a lot of people appear to miss the boat at.
Yeah, and it's no discredit to you guys or anything like that. It's a complicated situation. For myself, I learned by experiences. I was able to experience a lot of different things that allowed me to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And for me, opening up this distribution company is just to make sure that every July and every January you get a check.
Mm-hmm.
I you know, fortunately through the pandemic have been able to be pretty good because of the business side of my career has been handled properly.
Right.
So I don't feel like, you know, if I can extend that service to somebody who really wants to do music, I'd be more than happy to, you know, for the people who don't have a record deal, but still got a great situation going on.
Yep. I think that's widely needed. So big props to you on that, man. I'm sure you'll do well because you set the example of what people are looking to try to do. So that's a pretty big deal. I want to rewind, man. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, I ain't saying it. I'm good.
Yeah. So I want to rewind, man. You know, some like I said, I've known you from Gap, the Fifth Element days, and working in the studios and back and forth, like you said, working on harmonies in Mike's studio and at Tyrant's house. You know, so I really want to talk about you. This is all about you. This is really this is about you and what you can pass on to other people, like what you're getting ready to do with distribution right now. But if you can chart out, man, and tell us, you know, and a lot of people already know for one, but if you can, you know, like articulate it and spell it out, really paint a picture of your beginnings and, you know, some of the ups and downs you've had and your evolution as an artist, your evolution as a businessman, your evolution as a person, right? That track up to where you are today, and then some of where you're going based on the trajectory that you're doing today.
Well, for me initially, man, you know, of course, started off in church, singing at Progressives, man, and you know, always in the church, man. That's why I got my upbringings. You know, I always try to say kudos and much props to Lerone Rubin, rest in peace, who got me started in the choir, and then Malik Woods Terry, who like really like took the reins and, you know, gave me the confidence to be able to want to sing in front of people. Once I got to college, man, you know, I was running track. And you know, I attended the Bayou Bijou shows and the Angel Hall.
And you know about those shows, right? And we had to come with it. It was either come with it for those shows or get your behind literally drugged off or booed off the stage.
The reason why, and that's why sometimes people get mad at me because I'm such a harsh critic when it comes to music. It's just I come from a different era where if you sounded like almost good, you got booed. Like
you got booed, right?
Yeah. And you know, with music, the unfair thing about music is that you could wake up in the morning and be a Southern soul artist. Like you don't even have to like do nothing. Like you don't have to go like to be a doctor. You got to go to a school, and to be a football player, you got to go to training camp. But to be in music, you just wake up in the morning and put you a shiny suit on. And get you a little beat. And you know this, but you know that's another conversation for another day. But for myself, man, you know, I just felt like, you know, I had to earn my keep every time I was on a talent show. And you had like yourself, Tyron. You know, I used to watch y'all perform. I used to watch Legit perform. I used to watch all them cats, and I'd be like, okay, this is what we need to implement in our show. I hooked up with my boys, KC, Justin, Bobby, and Jason, and we created the group Fifth Element, man. And we was just a bunch of little wild.
Man, y'all solid though, man. Y'all had some real. I tell you what, man. When y'all first time I heard all you guys together, what got me was, especially back in those days, you really had to come with it. The harmonies were like just real solid, and everybody had a gift. So it wasn't like one lead man out, and then you had a couple of guys that could kind of hang around. The beauty about that was, man, all y'all were like really like solid. So when y'all came together, those harmonies were like they were strong.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's kudos to you. Like I said, Tyrant, Mike Lockett, because you know, back in the day, you could hit record on a thing. Right now, you can hit record and just record one set of harmonies and stack them. But you have to sing them things over and over and over and over. So we would spend hours in the dorm just singing, going over the harmonies, man, going over our dance routines, and then figuring out a way to make sure that the girls would scream, even though
y'all did that.
We didn't have a note. You know, we might miss a note, but we're gonna make it cut up. So I just grew up with that, like with that pit bull mentality. Like when I get on stage, if you after me, you in trouble, and if you before me, you're forgotten.
Yes, you're right.
And that's how you survived back when I came up, man. And I always carried that even till now. Like, you know, I perform with certain cats And in my mind, I'm like, I'm about to rip him apart.
It's a healthy form of competition, right?
It is. Like if you're going after
not
me,
in a negative way, but it's like you know what I'm saying. You never get a second chance to make a first impression, and when you're on that stage, you got to own that stage. And you did that. You still.
Well, and as an athlete,
yep.
I had that athlete mentality going into it. Like if you after me, I'm gonna punish you. You're not gonna want to even like grab the microphone when I'm finished. And so as that, progressing, I started to get into the ranks where I started getting paid for shows, like doing Southern Soul stuff and swing out stuff. I came up with Swing Around the Rosie.
Yep.
Drop That. Then I came out with Fell in Love with You at the Barbecue.
Yep.
And then after that, man, I was like, I want to make a line dance. No big deal.
Who knew, right?
I mean, that's how I felt. I was like, I'm gonna just try something out. And I mean, August 2006, I made Cupid Shuffle. In January 2007, I was on an airplane to Atlantic, Def Jam, and Universal. It was like just that fast, man.
Yep.
But it was just a testament to the fact that, like, I spoke that I was gonna get a record deal so much, and I really believed it.
I know you did.
Like, it was no doubt in my mind. I was like, I'm better than everybody.
Yep.
Or in my mind, it was just like, I was like, I know I have what it takes. And
but you also stepped out on faith too in the middle of all that. You believed in yourself. You had a job.
Yeah.
You had a job. I mean, and you not too many people. Look, some people are either halfway in or they're halfway out. Some people don't get completely in a lot of times because they, are fighting fear and hesitation because you really believed it from the jump.
Yeah, man. And I would use every job I had to promote. Like, I worked at Schilling Distributors, which is the beer company, and I had like a bag of CDs. And every time I would deliver some beer, I would drop CDs off to the clerks, stuff like that. And then when I worked at AT&T, I used to like use the call center as a way to promote parties and then DJ the parties and play my music. So it was always like a strategy I was trying to use. But music is like, every interview that you ever heard me do, people ask me like, what was a major quote? And for me, Sister Act 2, when Whoopi Goldberg asked Lauryn Hill, she said, girl, when you wake up in the morning, if you want to be a singer, you're supposed to be a singer.
That's right.
That was me. That's all I thought. That's all I knew. That's all I wanted to do. So
you used to walk around, still around with your book, with your songs.
No, not no more. It's in the phone.
Everywhere you go,
it's in the phone.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But now, man, so that was kind of my thing. And then once I realized that, man, it was like there was no plan B. It was like I'm gonna be plan A. So I quit my job, started promoting, and I was playing piano at the church, and I was doing shows. And I stepped out on faith, like you said, and I just gave it to God. And man, next thing I know, boom. I'm in New York. This at the top, the 26th floor of Atlantic Records, man, signing a record deal.
Yep. I do recall. So that was a blessing in itself, but that also come from hard work and perseverance, dedicated in a lot of talent, right? So that's where that came from. So I want to talk about the industry today versus when you first started. Back in the day, there was, well, let me let you tell it. What's the biggest differences in the industry today from where you started back in, like when you really got involved in it and you started making that climb, 2006-ish, 5-ish, 2006-ish, when you started making that climb up to what you're doing now versus some of the things that you're going through today?
Well, the difference now is technology. I mean, everything is self-sufficiency. Back in the day, it was like you was handing your demos to other people and, praying that they could connect you to the right person. The best part about today's industry, though, is there's a less amount of middlemen that dig into your money if you do it properly. You know, you don't need the record companies to get your music across the world anymore. You don't need them to shoot you a video. You don't need any of that, man. You just need the right resources and the know-how. And, we didn't have YouTube back then. So,
that was my next question, the impact on social media versus the different sort of social media platforms. You have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have, of course, YouTube and a variety of others. What has been the impact on social media today versus not having it?
Imagine, first of all, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna keep it real. I thank God in college I didn't have social media, and I know you do too.
Yep.
For so many reasons other than music.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But if we had it back then, man, the game would be different because, again, you couldn't wake up in the morning and be no singer and not be able to sing. Like,
that's right.
They will boo you.
You will get exposed.
You could sing Amazing Grace, How Sweet the Sound, and they will boo you.
Boo you.
Like, it was none of that. So, you know, but nowadays, you know, and it's cool too because there's a lot of talented people that don't get the breaks.
Right.
And now they can establish their own platform and be great. Like a lot of these online comedians who just blow up, man.
Right.
DC Young Fly and I like Desi Bakes. Dudes are hilarious, man. And so they just creating utilizing that platform to display their talents. So right now, I think it's just a free fall, man, of opportunity for anybody who wants to be successful in any entertainment because everybody's doing it on the phones now, man. And
I would agree.
You know,
I would agree. Back in the day, you know, early on, what we had and what we didn't have, you had to either get signed by a minor or a major, and if you couldn't get through to an AR department and get a minor label or a major label to sign you, and then that's even part of it, right? Even if they signed you, you still had to go through the hurdles of trying to get the record company to put your product out there that didn't keep you on the shelf. And even if they didn't keep you on the shelf, if you were a new artist that they didn't promote, you had to go on the Chitlin circuit to try to promote and pray to God that you can get the DJs to put your song in rotation, right? And I think today, from a social media perspective, that gives a lot of people a lot more avenues in order to get their music out, to get their videos out in a quick amount of time. And the benefit of that, it appears to me, it seems that it's a lot more cost effective.
Big time.
I wait for them to start charging for some of this stuff, to be quite frank with you. I'm surprised that a lot of these platforms hadn't started charging.
They don't charge because the consumer don't have the money. The companies, the branding companies have the money. So if you charge the consumers, the only thing that's going to happen is another service is going to come up for free. Like the minute Facebook charge, everybody gonna move to the next free site. But with these companies like the Targets and the Tides and the Procter and Gambles and all of them, they got to go where the people are. So it's easier to charge them than to charge the consumer, the true initial consumer.
Couple of final things, man. It's like I want to ask you right quick. And we talked about it just a little bit previously. Best form of advice for the young man or the young woman, that's a young lady that's sitting at her table, who has the dream, who has the goal, who has the drive and the ambition.
First thing you have to remember is success is a mirage. It's a mirage. And I'm glad I keep this behind me at all times because I reminded, after selling 2 million records, then what? It's 2 million one. Then when you get to 3 million, it's 3 million one. You never ever totally reach that highest pinnacle. You get a Grammy, you want another. So success is a mirage. The actual joy is in the journey. So every time I'm on stage, every time I'm performing, whether it's 5 people, 5,000, Korea, Japan, United States, or Visa, that's my joy. You gotta be in love with music. If you don't love the music, then it's not something that that you can be successful at long term. And that's what I tell the people. You know, you got these guys that want to be rappers or singers so they can have a bunch of chicks and some money. And
don't laugh.
Man, you ain't gonna make it, or if you do get a little something, it's gonna be gone before you blink your eyes.
That's exactly right.
You know, so when I realized that, when I got my first plaque, my first gold plaque, it was a gold, and I opened it and I was like, okay, but I still got more to do. It's like, I'm still in this. It ain't like, yes, I did it. You know, when I got my record deal, my competition went from, you know, the local people to Chris Brown and, you know,
think
Usher.
about that, right?
I'm on the same billboard with them dudes.
Right.
So it don't stop, man. My joy is in the journey. My joy is every day I wake up in the morning, I get to do music. I get to make songs about whatever I feel like. The craziest ideas. I get to turn around and, you know, make it create revenue. And I get to perform in front of people and make them have a good time. And for me, that's the ultimate thing. So my advice for anybody out there is don't do it if you're not totally in love with it. You know, I know some part-time musicians. I know some that just do it for a hobby, and that's cool. But if you want to do it for a career, you gotta be in love with it because it ain't easy. It's gonna be sometimes you're gonna make a song that you're gonna think is the greatest song in the world, and ain't nobody gonna like it. You gotta go back to the drawing board.
Well, I appreciate that. What any questions for me?
Well, man, let me ask you this, man. I've always been curious, man. First time you see me perform, bro, what was your thoughts?
Talented. Because the first time I seen you, well, you gotta keep in mind, the first time I seen you perform or heard you, it wasn't on the stage. The first time when I met you, it was actually in the studio.
Oh, by Mike?
Yeah. I met y'all. I met you and the group in the studio. That was my first introduction to y'all in the studio. And then over time, you know, with me and Tyron being there, then we eventually started going to Tyron House every so often. But I met y'all. That was my introduction to you at Cage Bird on Stewart Street when we first started talking. And I was like, man, these brothers got the goods, man. I'm like, these brothers, I mean, these, like, y'all reminded me of me and the guys that I was with earlier because y'all were really hungry. And like I said earlier, y'all could really sing, and you can tell you had a love for it. And one thing, like I remember, you really had a love for it because you would walk around with that tablet with all the songs you wrote, right? So if they would throw something at you, you'd be like, okay, I got a song for that.
Oh yeah.
I'm working on this. I'm working on. I remember the notebook, man. I remember the notebook. So my thing is very, very talented, extremely talented in terms of performing. Retro, old school, performing, make people get up, make people move. And that's what it's about. You know, if you watch a lot of shows today, especially with music, for what I see, you'll see some artists, great artists, that are great artists that miss the performing part of it, right?
Yeah.
You got everything. And for me, if you're able to make people get up, right, and interact, and they walk out that building or that venue feeling like, you know what, whatever I had going on, if I had a bad day, if I had a bad week, or if something's going on with myself, just for that few minutes, hour, 2 hours, or that set, that person made me forget about what I was going through and I had the time of my life. You did your job as an artist.
That is correct. Yep. I agree totally, man. And, you know, that's what I've always tried to do, man. Like, you know, I don't go up there hitting notes that I can't, that is not on the album. I try to give you everything that I got because, again, man, I come from a pedigree. I come from you, Tyron, Gerald. Your boy used to play the saxophone, David Johnson. And man, you get up there, man. It was like the USL talent show stage. There's artists
I won't even name shows. Duck used to give those shows.
I won't even name some of them. It's artists that's out right now that wouldn't last 45 seconds.
Wouldn't last 10
on that stage.
Wouldn't last 10 on that stage.
But you know,
I tell you what, man, that would be that stage, man. It was raw, because some of those talent nights, you got to think about it, man. Especially for us, we were just kind of getting in there. It would be standing room only in there.
Yeah.
It'd be standing room only. They'd be lined up against the walls. They'd be sitting in the aisles. It'd be and I remember a few people, if they didn't come up, I mean, you have the whole place booing them. booing them, booing them off. And I'm like, oh man, you shouldn't have came up here with that from the get-go.
Right. I seen Amazing Grace get booed.
Amazing. Think about that. When you boo the Lord song,
oh yeah.
That's boo, boo.
So, yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I'm talking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So your skills were honed, man, with like, that was our version of somebody going in through the Apollo.
Yeah. You had to.
That was our version of someone going in on Saturday night in the Apollo, where you walked up on that stage and either that stage was going to be a real comfortable place or it was going to be lonely as hell.
It was like training camp.
Yep.
And if you got out of that, then you could earn a spot to Michael Lockett or earn a spot down the street to go record. If you couldn't get through that, you wouldn't be no singer. And that's why today you got 852,000 rappers and singers. And back in the day, it was like you only had like a handful because cats wouldn't let you in the studio if you didn't have no credentials. You know,
they wouldn't let you in.
It's different brand.
Different brand. So, what do you think about singing as a whole? Do you think? Let's talk about just in general singing, because one thing that I also do want to ask you, you used to have your own deal on Facebook and on Instagram. Man, I used to get a kick out of that. Man, what happened to that?
I'm about to bring it back, man. What was happening was
I used to laugh at the red cup.
Yeah.
I used to laugh at the red cup.
I'm gonna start back at it again. And what it was, man, was just I had I got crazy with my time. My Tuesday nights was getting kind of like crowded because, of course, I coach at the school, so I was had stuff like that. But then too, I just noticed that I had a whole bunch of other people trying to do it.
Really?
Yeah, like after when it was during quarantine, so cats was bored. I didn't want to water it down, so I was thinking about possibly maybe doing it like once a month when I do bring it back. But in conjunction with the distribution company, of course, I'm about to start it again, so that way people who are good, I can
have an avenue.
Get them. Yeah, they can have an avenue to put their music out. Correct.
Yeah, because I tell you what, man, I looked forward to that on Tuesday night. We all did, man. We knew, look, you was gonna have some good ones, and you was gonna have some ones that we should have took that king and drug off, man. And you had what was also pretty cool was, even though it was virtual, but I used to laugh at the comment section, man. The comment section, like sometimes the comment section was more hilarious than the singing, man.
Bro, look,
ruthless.
Man, it would take everything in me to not. I would read them as they
I know.
And I would be trying not to.
Look, you have right there. Look, this right here. Oh, you had. I'm like, yeah, it's getting rough. Yeah. So look, if you can bring that back, man. I know you have a real busy schedule, and you just had a move, and things are starting to clear up, and you're starting to get out and about more. So congratulations on the move and everything else you're going through, man. Because I know you're all positive, and things are good. Things are always happening to you because you're good people.
Thanks, man.
If you get the notion to start that up again, man, we kind of waiting on that beat.
Oh, it's coming, bro. I just somebody asked me the other day, and I was like looking at a date. I'm looking at April to start it back, and it's good for me to start it outside of football season because Monday Night Football is crazy, but the Monday nights we about to pop it off, man, again, and man, let me tell you, man, I got some of the video clips of some of the old ones, bro. Episodes.
But you had some real talented people on that too. I'm gonna tell you what, man. You had some people, and what I liked about that, man, you had people literally from all over. First, it started off here, man. You'd have people from Virginia. You'd have people from Illinois. You have people from all over the country. I mean, this thing really started to spread and evolve and get a life of its own, man. And you had some really, 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 really talented people, and it just went to show, like, really how much talented people that we have out there that don't have a platform or don't know how to use a platform, right, in order to get where they gotta go. And I respected that because as I respected what you're doing to help me, thank you again by using your platform to help elevate others. And at the end of the day, man, that's what it's about.
That's the plan. At the end of the day, whom is given much is required, man. And if I can get somebody to come on my show and they get booked for a wedding, like this cat, Brandon Foster, man. The dude that'll play the piano, man, that dude out of space, man. I'm still trying to figure out a situation to work with him. But man, that boy get on there and sing. And I mean, I know his numbers went crazy, and I know they got people trying to book him for weddings and everything else, man. So it's just, you know, like you say, giving people the opportunity to be seen outside of just their normal friends, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So B, if there's anything else you have for me, I like to close out, man, but I would like to tell you, man, again, I really appreciate you. I think I got something here, and you're the perfect person, man. And I've been knowing you for a while, and everything you've done, you've been humble, you've been hardworking, you've been the example, and you have a really good reputation, man. So that's really why I wanted you to give me a hand with the first one, because I have the utmost respect for you. And I thank you for giving me a hand. I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, man, you're a brother. I appreciate
it, bro. Appreciate it, dog. And look, man, just y'all follow me on Instagram. It's official New Cupid on Instagram. Facebook is under New Cupid. You can follow me there. And Twitter is New Cupid. And look, Crawfish is out. Go get my new single Crawfish. Go get my new single Flex. And I got some new music on the way. My little sister got a new single called Unstoppable.
I saw that.
Be looking for that, man, coming up real soon. Mandy Ansel.
When does that drop, Q?
We dropping it in 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah, dropping the video and the single in 2 weeks, man, for Women Empowerment Month. And y'all go get that Fat Tuesday by Mr. Fat, mixed by Adobe D. Go get that. My brother, Mr.
That's my
Fat.
dude.
And y'all just stay tuned, man. The Hub City TOC camp, me and Fat. Oh, check out Neba and Neba's new single. My boy Mr. Faz cameoing in the video as well. Y'all check her out. And we just put music out, man. Our camp just pushing, man, full throttle. So expect big things, and we're gonna just keep moving.
Yep, y'all doing beautiful things, man. And I appreciate you. Like I said, you set the example. We take note of all that, and I'll do what I can on your end as well, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks, Ease. I appreciate you, my brother.
All right, man. Let's stay tight. Thanks, and God bless you, and continue leveling up.
Thank you, my brother.